Leonardo da Vinci was born on April 15, 1452 in Ancano, Italy. He was the illegitimate son of Messer Piero Frusino di Antonio da Vinci, who is a Florentine notary, and Caterina, who is a peasant which may have been a slave from Middle East. He grew up on his father's household, where he receives the usual elementary education, which are reading, writing, and arithmetic. In the modern sense, Leonardo had no surname. His name, Da Vinci, simply means of Vinci, so his full birth name was Leonardo Messer Piero da Vinci, which means Leonardo, son of Messer Piero from Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci is an artist, engineer, scientist, sculptor, painter, draftsman, and an architect. Yet, he received no formal education beyond reading, writing, and math. But his father appreciated his artistic talent. So, at the age of 15, his father made a way to make him an apprentice to the one of the leading artists in the 15th century in Florence, Mr. Andrea del Verrocchio.
Leonardo da Vinci is one of the great Renaissance painters which continually tested artistic traditions and techniques. He created innovative compositions and investigated anatomy to accurately represent the human body. Now, here are some of his popular and influential works. First is The Last Supper. The Last Supper was commissioned by the Duke of Milan named Ludovico Sforza in 1495. The work took 3 years to complete. This work depicts the moment where some of the apostles betrayed Jesus. The painting was done in such great detail even in the facial expressions. Second is the Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa is one of, if not the most well-known work of Da Vinci, a private commission painting. He used his sfumato technique to bring an incredible visual appeal. Some of the historians also believe that Mona Lisa is a self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci. Third is Ginevra da Vinci. The portrait of Ginevra da Vinci is the only painting by Leonardo publicly displayed in the Western Hemisphere. It is one of Leonardo's earliest works, finished when he was in his early 20s, and shows some of the unconventional methods he could use throughout his career. Fourth and the last is The Virgin and Child with Saint Anne. Some scholars believe that The Virgin and Child with Saint Anne was Leonardo's last painting, and in this work, he used many of the conventions that he had established throughout his career to depict 3 generations of Holy Family: Saint Anne, her daughter, the Virgin Mary, and the Christ child.
Leonardo da Vinci was a renowned artist, inventor, and scientist during the Renaissance period. His notebooks reveal a spirit of scientific inquiry and mechanical inventiveness that were centuries ahead of their time.
For his contributions to science, his drawings of fetuses, sex organs, the human heart, and muscular structures were one of the first and the most accurate during his time. He produced the first accurate depiction of the human spine, while his notes on documenting his dissection of the Florentine centenarian contained the earliest known description of cirrhosis of the liver. As for his contributions to technology, it all started when Medici asked Leonardo to create a silver lyre as a peace gesture. This gave him the push to pursue the creation of inventions. He sketched ideas of war chariots, a giant crossbow, and an armored tank for war. With his obsessions with the idea of flight, he wrote the Codex on the Flight of Birds in 1505, along with the prototypes of parachutes and helicopters.
Overall, Leonardo da Vinci's contributions to science and technology were significant, and his works continues to inspire scientists and inventors today.
To get to know more about Leonardo da Vinci, here are some trivia about him. Did you know that his paintings made his mentor retire? Leonardo da Vinci was asked to paint an angel while studying art from his mentor, Andrea del Verrocchio. Leonardo da Vinci made an exceptional painting that Andrea del Verrocchio decided not to paint again.
Raphael of Sancho, commonly known as Raphael, was a well-known Italian painter and fresco artist of the High Renaissance. A member of an artistic family, Raphael was born in Urbino, Italy on April 6, 1483. His mother passed away when he was 8 years old, and his father, Giovanni Santi, was a poet and painter at the Palace of Urbino. Raphael was quickly accepted as an apprentice to the painter Pietro Perugino after displaying a natural talent for drawing and painting as a young child. Raphael is a master painter and architect. Raphael's official schooling is unfortunately hotly debated. He is thought to have had some early tuition from his painter father and later studied in Perugia under the instruction of Pietro Perugino. Raphael's talent as a painter was noticed at a young age, and he swiftly gained notoriety for his capacity to produce works of art that are incredibly realistic and emotionally evocative. While Raphael's exact educational background is uncertain, his skill as a painter and his capacity to learn and innovate throughout his career serve as evidence of his innate curiosity and commitment to his profession.
Raphael is most famous for his unique style in the Sistine Madonna for the Palace of Vatican. The standing figure is the apex of a triangular group of figures, including Saint Barbara on the right in the beautiful colors of gold, blue, and green, and the Saint Sixtus on the left with a red-lined cloak, while in the center is Madonna, in which is the Virgin Mary, appearing with an infant Jesus. The colors she bears are a symbol of virtue, virginity, innocence, and purity of spirit. The cloud-filled space they inhabit is meant to be infinite, indicated beautifully by the irresistible little angels at the bottom that had made the painting famous. The next one is the School of Athens. It is a masterpiece that visually represents an intellectual concept. It symbolizes philosophy, setting up a contrast between the religious and lay beliefs that were developed by the great Greek philosopher. The two main figures in the work are placed directly under the archway in the fresco's vanishing point, a compositional trick to draw the viewer's eye to the most important part of the painting. Here, we see two men who effectively represent a different school of philosophy. An elderly Plato stands off the left, pointing his finger to the sky, which indicates his theory of forms. Beside him is his student Aristotle. His hand is a visual representation of his belief that knowledge comes from experience.
Raphael was an Italian artist who worked during the High Renaissance. While being primarily recognized for his contributions to the arts, he was also somewhat involved in science and technology. Raphael could have made the following contributions to science and technology. Raphael is credited for studying human anatomy in order to show the human body in his artwork in a more lifelike manner. His research advanced our understanding of human anatomy, and other scientists and artists consulted his artwork for inspiration. Raphael is renowned for incorporating mathematical ideas into his works of art, such as the golden ratio, vanishing point, and perspective. His use of these ideas advanced the study of perspective in art and resulted in a more realistic and eye-catching image. Raphael is also known to have utilized the camera obscura in his artwork, while it is unknown if he originated it. A surface can be projected with an image of the outside world using an optical apparatus called the camera obscura, which can then be painted or sketched over. With the aid of this tool, painters were able to describe their surroundings more realistically. Ultimately, Raphael's work helped expand knowledge of perspective and anatomy, even though his contributions to science and technology may not have been as major as his contributions to art.
Did you know that there are two speculations why Raphael dies? One was according to biographer Giorgio Vasari that Raphael died because he was so tired all his work and more importantly, from having too much sex with his mistress La Fornarina. On the other hand, the scientists conclude that he died because of a fever caused by an infection, more specifically pneumonia. Whether or not he was exhausted from never-ending lovemaking or infection, we'll never know for sure. What we do know is that he suddenly became ill at the age of 37 and was bedridden for 15 days.